For those who have chosen to stay with us, for those who have chosen to keep it glued to Record TV, we'd like to say that you are the winners, because from Monday to Friday, actually from Sunday to Friday, in your homes, you always watch normal house music, you always watch dancehall, you watch reggae, you watch every urban music. But on this particular day, Record TV chooses to bring you something different in a show called The Indigenous Beats that you must not miss out to be part of, because it only comes once a week. Now, we are getting back to talk about what I had promised you. That is about the cultural practice that happens in the Eastern District of Mbale and the Bagisu sub-region as a whole. Now, in the Imbalu Festival, there are a lot of things that transpire, right from the preparation to the types of houses, to the way business is conducted in these particular days. We shall be getting into the deeper insight on what transpires in bid to bring these events that we always celebrate the way they are. But before we get there, I would like us to take a profiled look of the Mbale town. Once during the time of Apollo Milton Obote, it was named one of the most cleanest and organized cities in Uganda. Let's take a look.
Mbale is a city in the eastern region of Uganda. It is the major municipal, administrative and commercial center of Mbale district and the surrounding sub-region. Mbale is approximately 245 kilometers by road northeast of Kampala on the all-weather tarmac highway. The city also lies on the railway from Tororo to Pakwach. As one approaches Mbale town, lies a unique mammoth gigantic structure of the one of Uganda's tourist marvels, Mount Elgon. Mount Elgon, one of the highest peaks in East Africa, is the town's major landmark, located approximately 52 kilometers east of Mbale town. According to the 2002 national census, the population of Mbale was about 71,130. In 2010, the Uganda Bureau of Statistics estimated the population at 81,900 people. In 2011, UBOS estimated the media population at 91,800, and by 2014 the National Population Census put the population at 96,189. Mbale was in the early 80s designed among the most organized towns in the Pearl of Africa, something that earned the busy center its mini city status during the time of Apollo Milton Obote. With Uganda partitioned into regions, Mbale falls under Bagisu sub-region, a region in eastern Uganda that consists of the following districts: Bududa, Bulambuli, Manafwa, Sironko, and the Mbale district, bordered by Teso and Sebei sub-regions. The sub-region is home mainly to the Gisu people, also called the Bagisu, who speak Lugisu. The sub-region is a home mainly to the Gisu people, also called the Bagisu, who speak Lugisu, a dialect of Lumabasaba, a Bantu language. Lugisu is very similar to the Bukusu language spoken by the Bukusu people of Kenya. Masaba, sometimes referred as Lumasaba, sometimes also known by many others as Gisu or Lugisu, after one of the dialects, is a Bantu language spoken by more than 2 million people in East Africa. Gisu dialect in eastern Uganda is mutually intelligible with the Bukusu spoken by the ethnic Luya in western Kenya. Masaba, commonly known by the whole region and commonly called by the eastern people and all over Uganda, is the local name of Mount Elgon, the name of the sons of the ancestors of the Gisu tribe. Generally, Bagisu people stay on mountainous region, a view evidenced by the presence of the towering mountain Elgon ranges, a volcano located in the mountainous Mbale district of eastern Uganda. This area is well irrigated, contains some of the most fertile soils in the country, allowing the tribe to become dominant in agriculture. The highest point on these ranges goes as high as 8,000 feet, while the low ones go for as low as 4,000 feet above the sea level.
Wow, beautiful. Now, what are the major steps taken during the preparation of what we call the Imbalu, or the circumcision, for the Bagisu people in the Bagisu sub-region? First and foremost, the first typical thing that is done is identification of the candidates. These are candidates, like when you see presidential candidates. Are you getting it? These are candidates, like when you see candidates of P7, S4, and S6 planning to sit for their examination. These are candidates, like when you see university people sitting for the final examination, because it promotes. The purpose of being a candidate is to promote you from one level to another one. Now, what are the major steps that are always considered in the process of organizing this circumcision season? One, identification of the candidates. This is usually done voluntarily or involuntarily. When I talk about voluntarily, there are people who have heard about the history of the Imbalu in the Bagisu sub-region and have for long waited for the chance to come. Actually, it always keeps a year for Imbalu to return. It's not there every year. Now, there are those who hear about Imbalu and maybe they witnessed last year their colleagues being circumcised. Most of them go into hype waiting. Next year, I will be in the list. It does not only stop with the candidates. Even the parents to these kids, to these sons, always are eager in waiting. Oh, my son Kitoshi, I know by the next year, they'll be preparing with the hype, knowing that the son is going to undergo a ritual that will graduate them from being just a mere young boy to manhood. Now, that is the voluntary bit of it. The involuntary, or the forced registration, the forced enrollment, the forced registration and bringing in of these people is also done by moving into areas using the spy network and arresting these people to be forced into circumcision. Now, this actually explains to you why very many people keep running away from Bagisu when the season is about to begin, like 2 months through. The man relocates either to Soroti or Kumi, or he stops in around Kashumbala, just waiting for that particular time when the season is done for him to return back home, because after the season, it's not always a habit of the Bagisu people to arrest you and circumcise you. So what happens is there's also that other section whereby they just force you out of your house to join the team, and they'll circumcise you against your will, because it is culture and every man must undergo it in bid for you to qualify to become a man. Now, what is the second step after what we call the identification of the candidates? The second step is what we call the moving around of the candidates to different homes. This step, and in this step, candidates are taken to different homes of their relatives. The purpose of taking them to different homes of their relatives is not just mere fun. One, they take them to look for gifts. The way you would look at maybe during a particular Catholic season, Christians move with the cross to different houses asking for collections that are supposed to be used for celebration and particular activities. That's exactly what happens. The Bagisu people who happen to be candidates are taken to different homes of their relatives to inform the relatives to give gifts that are going to help in the preparation of the whole circumcision process. Some of the gifts include food. Some of the gifts include clothing. Some of the gifts include drinks. Some of the gifts include ash and other things that are needed for these particular ceremonies. You find they're given goats, they're given cows, they're given chicken. The way you would hear that someone is going for baptism and you would say, oh, let me give a goat, let me give a cow, let me give money. All that is done during that phase. The second reason why the second phase, or why the second step is always done, is to inform relatives that, hey, by the way, I am going to be circumcised. Next week I'm going to be circumcised. Next month I'm going to be circumcised. Tomorrow I'm going to be circumcised. Why? You need to alert them so that they come and witness you transcend from being a normal lousy man into real manhood. I would like to give you a simple scenario. You've seen very many people who are going to wed. What do? They call all their friends. Oh, Oh, Juliet, I'll be wedding. Oh, Susan, I will be wedding. Yes. Oh, Paul. Yeah, it's still Goretti. I'll be wedding her. Those are the excitements that people come with. And actually, they make sure that even some even move to people's homes and inform them. Maybe you go with your hubby or your honey or your fiancé and be like, oh, yes, Jotham, we'll be introducing ourselves next week. And we'll be wedding the other week. That is the hype. Informing relatives of what is going to happen next so that they be part of the process. They be part of the season that you guys are going to face ahead. So that is the second step. The third step is actually what we call the assembling of the candidates. This is where candidates are brought under one roof or are brought under related homesteads where they're being mentored, where the mentorship takes course, where they're being fed, where their hearts are being prepared to realize that whatever they're going through in that period is actually harder than the simple task of circumcision they have ahead. These people are given a lot of tasks that actually make them wish for the day of circumcision to come. By the time these guys are set, they now move to what we call the last major step. This is where they are being unveiled to stand in front of a hall where the traditional medicine is put, and they are made to stand, and they are made to stand straight without looking down, only looking in front, without crying, and the knives are brought, and they are now officially given the chance to accomplish the process of circumcision. Now, in this stage, most of these people are too tired that even the pain is lesser. They just wish to finish that and they go away because they've been disturbed, they've had sleepless nights, they've sung, they've done what, they're painted all over their faces, and all they're left with is to stand and wait for the knife to go, remove the thing, and the celebration begins. Those are the steps that are taken during the time of having the transition from being a mere youth or from being a mere child to manhood in Bagisu sub-region. Allow me now, without dwelling everything on myself, take you to some of the organizers of these particular events, of these particular practices in Mbale. Let's hear the ordeal.
A cultural village is where we have our cultural heritage. We keep all our belongings, our history busy here, and the hut where I'm standing is the king's hut, where the elders sit to decide on what should be done. Masaba, who is the forefather of us, produced 3 sons. The elder son in Mambu, who takes up the other hut, who produces part of our sons who stay in Bulambuli, Sironko side. We have Dale, where we find our sitting room Mbale. As Masaba, when we are deciding on our issues, we come and sit in the sitting room. And even here when we are sitting, we go there to decide on what should be done. When the king wants to discuss anything, calls these sons, they go into the hut to share. We have the third hut. He produced a lot. He went up to Kenya and Kitale. We have over 4 million Bamasaba living in Kenya, and they are all the sons of Mubuya, who is the second son of Masaba, the great grandfather of us. We have those open them with mud. They pass from there, come, enter here, go down there where we have our cultural mud. In that cultural mud, they smear them with it, then they come for a knife to where they circumcise them from the other side where we have another hut. So we are supposed to have other clan huts. Remember, we have 26 clans which make up our kingdom. So the 26 clans are going to be put all over here like that, up to the other end. And the perimeter wall will be here. This is where the king sits and has fun discussions with his people. Yes, please. Hut, where our boys are circumcised under that tree you are seeing across there. Inside here, they put there the marwa, the whatever is required for that ceremony to go on. So after smearing them, here we have initiation into manhood of Inemba. People will go and dance Inemba. That means they have matured, and they will have the ceremony. closed until we have the next ceremony. You know, this is one of the international events, and our guest of honor of this function, we are expecting to have the President of the Republic of Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta, and the President of the Republic of Uganda, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. They are all going to be here on this function. We have all the Speaker of the Senate, Kenya Lusaka. We have Governor Kitale, we have Governor Bungoma, and we have all our ministers, tourism ministers and all other ministers. We have many government stakeholders. We have the international community coming in to see what is going on. It is at this point that Uganda has gained a name to be the second world carnival tourism. And this year we see that if we organize it as you are seeing it, we are going to give our country a better name. So on 11th of August is the official opening of Imbalu ceremony, and this is where Imbalu starts from. Where our origin of Imbalu was is where we have kept our heritage, as I showed other members, where we have our cultural heritage village. Kyembadde njogerako, Mutoto kye kifo ekyatandikibwamu Embalu, era wenyimiridde wano wetusalira abasinde baffe ebiseera bwe bituuka. Tulina cultural village Umukuka watuula ne clans zonna, Bagisu oba Abamasaba tuformingiwa ne clans ziri 26. Clans 26 ze ziforminga Masabaland. Olaba ensozi zonna abantu abaffe batambula kuva wano paka Kenya Kitale. Tulina namba esinga obungi eri mu Kenya ya milioni 4. Tulina wano e Uganda milioni 3 zokka, naye abantu bakyeyongera. Kale omukolo gwaffe kugenda beerawo nga 11 ogw'omunaana, era wano e Mudodo wenyini we tuli wano. Wano Embalu we yatandikira era terivaawo. Tuli kwongera kuzimba kifo kino tulabe nti kikola kibeera kya bulambuzi. Kifo kino kiwadde eggwanga lyaffe Uganda erinnya okubeera second carnival country in the world. Era twagala tukizimbe.
And that is all we had for you today on the Indigenous Beats, profiling for you what we call the Mbale town and taking you deep through what we call the Gishu culture and the land of the Bagisu people. If you have not learned some Lugisu, in one of the episodes coming ahead, we shall be giving you chance to move a mile to learn a few words in Gishu. From me and the crew, that is Calypso and all the men behind the editing, all the men behind the production, all the TV crew that gave us a chance to travel to Mbale, I would like to say thank you so much for the support that you've given us to unveil this great picture quality, this great episode of the Imbalu Festival. It has been me, your host, OLUPO to the African, and for me and the team, we wish you a blessed weekend till next Saturday.
Kani